Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah. Hebrew Israelite isn't a hate group. We follow the laws, no matter the cause. That don't mean we hate you. They warring with us like Hussein do. Then they try to blame us like it ain't you. Got the demons posing like they angels. Yeah, I gotta go deep like the bass do. In the beginning was good and evil. Now we all at the end, it's the same two. When the most I'm not playing with y'all too. Yeah, he about to come down like the rain do. He gon' baptize the world in a flame pool. And that waterproof like his rain shoes. Crisis break out, can it save you? And I hope y'all repent cause you can't shoot. Stop. Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah. Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah. Praise to the Elohim of Elohim. I feel the energy enter me. That is a heavenly remedy. So-called family turn enemy. It get cold like antifreeze. Their hearts seem to be 10 degrees. They only bless you when you sneeze. Give me 100 feet like centipedes. I be repenting, Father please. Your grace sufficient, it gotta be. You and the angels, they proud of me. I don't use Twitter, but they follow me. Second address, gotta read. R.I.P. to Maccabees. The end is coming. Wanna see? No defenses, only heat. Shalom. Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah. Repent for my ancestors, yeah. Demons know that we next up, so they test us, yeah. Haters tryna throw L's on us like Lexus, yeah. We storing riches up in heaven, yeah, that's investment, yeah.
Yet, if they shall bethink themselves in the land whither they were carried captives, and repent, and make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carried them captives, saying, we have sinned, and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness, and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land, which thou gavest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou their prayer and their supplication in heaven thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause, and forgive thy people.
All right. Shalom, 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 y'all. Shalom. I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat. And as you could tell, we have a great show for you today. As you can see by the title, we are talking about diet, health, herbs, healing, regenerations, things like that. What I'm going to do before we get into things, I'm going to make sure the audio is good. So I'm going to do my audio checks. Sounds good on my end. Y'all can let me know in the comments. And yeah, we are going to be discussing dangerous eating habits, and I need to spell that correctly. Dangerous eating habits. But that's what we're going to be discussing today. And we are also going to be, of course, taking, doing questions and answers. So at any time, if you have a question, put it in the comments. We will definitely address it. I'm going to be, because I know I haven't come on here in a while and spoke on, diet, health, cleansing, detoxification, stuff like that. So we're going to get into that today. I'm going to outline everything. And yeah, it's going to be a good show. So, dangerous eating habits. That is the title. I'm going to see if I can fix it real quick. Yeah, I can fix it. So eating, I'm going to actually fix it while the show is going. But yeah, dangerous eating habits. A lot of people, the word says, my people perish for lack of knowledge. Okay. And, people are just totally unaware how uh, dangerous and some of these foods are. And part of what a lot of people, let me see, it won't let me change some of them. All right. Oh, well, I just ain't gonna worry about it. I'll just change it later. But like I said, a lot of people are unaware how dangerous these the foods out here are, and um, the effects it has on the body. And one of the areas that people are very unknowledgeable in, I would say, is that they're not aware of the amount of some of these foods they're consuming. Okay. Um, the the order I would put it in of, these foods and just how unhealthy they can be. I would start with grains or your grass family, okay, or seeds of grasses. They have all types of names for them, but I would start there with the grains. That's probably going to be by far your the food that is going to wreak the most havoc on your body. And then after that, I would say it kind of be a toss up between beans and dairy, but a lot of people would go with dairy. Put dairy there, then a lot of your beans, and then meat. Okay. And then after that, you get, you know, healing foods or building foods are gonna be like uh your vegetables and then your fruits. They cleanse. Okay. And we'll get into all that. But I want to start with the grains, okay? Because when people come to me and you know they're like, "Hey, Mike, this is broke. Mike, this is acting up in me. Hey, Mike, I got this going on." The first thing I say, so what do you eat? What'd you have for dinner yesterday? What do you typically eat? Boom, 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 boom. They go through it, and inevitably, the smoking gun is always grain. They're consuming a lot of grains, and I'm gonna go in on why grains are bad. I'm gonna just uh, do it in a very um, I'm gonna give you a abbreviated um, explanation of why grains are bad. I've done a whole show on it. Here soon in the future, I'm gonna do another show on it. But okay, so with grains, and when I say grains, you can intermix the word. Grains are grasses and grasses are grains. So grains are in the grass family. You know what I'm saying? They're types of grasses. And so what are your grains or your grasses? Sugar or sugar cane, corn is a grass, rice is a grass, of course wheat is a grass. um out of all the grains, the worst grain is your wheat, or what they call wheat. I wouldn't even call what they have today wheat when you look at what they've done to it, how it grows, and the way the proteins are inside it. But a lot of people are like, well, you know, I could eat rice, and rice is like it's a filtered cigarette. It's still, you still have the harmful effects. It's just not as e- intense, extreme. You know what I'm saying? It's like smoking a filtered cigarette, just doing the same damage, just not as quick. Um, why? what are some of the bad things about grains that make them so bad? Your body can't break down the proteins in grains, okay? It can't break them down. So your body has to do one of two things. Number one, get them out of it, get them out of there. Um, or number two, sometimes if the immune system, excuse me, can't um, detect and capture those grain proteins, the systems in your body will mistake them for another type of protein that it uses, and it will utilize them, and it will begin to throw your body out of whack. And that's why you hear a lot of people talking about autoimmune disease and the immune system is attacking itself. No, it's attacking these strange proteins that the body is trying to use, is making the body go haywire, and the system's all jacked up. So that's one thing. Another thing going on with grains, particularly wheat, I think they call it wheat germ agglutinin. It's like a protein in wheat that binds to the opioid receptor in your brain, and it gets you addicted to that substance, to the grains. And that's why when you eat grains, it doesn't trigger your sedentary switch. You just want more and more and more. And you never really feel full if you're eating grains. Start feeding somebody cupcakes or something. They just keep eating them. You feed somebody a steak, it's gonna trigger their sedentary switch and make them stop eating. You know what I'm saying? Um, the other thing with grains is they're extremely fattening. You show me somebody overweight, I'm gonna show you somebody that's consuming a lot of grain, whether they realize it or not. And just so you know, it's not just the bread, even though bread and that wheat the wheat is worse than sugar. It spikes your blood sugar um faster than sugar does. It's very it's a very sugary, potent um substance. And when you eating a bunch of bread, what your body has to do is getting so much sugar so quick that what your body has to do is store it. And it has to convert it into fat because it can't use it because it's just coming in so fast, and it has to store it. And your liver converts it. And a lot of times your liver can't convert it fast enough. And a lot of people get what? Fatty liver disease. Um, all the other grains work the same way. People are like, well, what about the spelt and all this stuff? Same thing. It's just, again, it's like a filtered cigarette. Here, what we consume here is like I forget. They're in the recipe books that Sister Koya put out, which I'll put that up here soon. Um, but we have substitutes, cassava flour. That's what it is, which is like a root vegetable, and literally they just it's ground up into a powder, and they use it to make like tortilla wraps. I know Sammy made brownies yesterday out of almond flour and some other I don't know what all she used in it, but she sweetened it with coconut sugar, stuff like that. Like there's alternatives to all this stuff, and we'll get into that. So, you don't have to freak out, but I can't express it hard enough, just the damage that grains are doing to people. Sugar if you do your research, you look at some of these medical journals, it's like a neurotoxin. They call sugar a neurotoxin in a lot of circles out there. It is referred to as a neurotoxin. If I find when people come across me and they have some type of neurological issue, first thing I'm looking at, how much sugar you consuming, how much wheat you consume, because it literally acts like a neurotoxin on your nervous system. I've seen it. I've seen people with what's that called? I was gonna say Tourette's, but sugar affects that too. But autism, I've seen autistic people, and you remove them off the sugar, and their condition, their symptoms go down. Okay, they don't their behavior changes for the good. Um, and again, I'm not telling you anything that is impossible to do. This is the scientific method is provable, observable, and repeatable. You can go out and try this right now, you know. Um, but the other thing is that the level to which we are consuming this stuff, and people don't know. People don't realize, oh, okay, so I'll cut out bread and I'll cut out sugar. Okay, so you cut out the bread and then you cut out the sugar, but you don't realize they're putting it in everything. It's in the ketchup, it's in the mayonnaise, it's in the peanut butter, it's in the you buy a carton of orange juice, they put sugar in that. It's literally there's a small like group of products that they're not putting that there's a small group of products that don't contain corn, rice, sugar, or wheat. And you'll see they'll have like rice starch. Like sometimes you go out and try to buy one of these pizzas, healthy pizzas, and you look on the back, they either got rice starch or corn syrup or something in it, or dextrose. Like I got turkey pepperoni one time, and I looked on it and it had dextrose in it. Dextrose is sugar. You see what I'm saying? So this stuff, they are people literally have no idea the amount of grain they're consuming. And by and large, it's having a little grain is not going to be bad, but people are, because this society is ran by Satan and it's a deception. People are overeating sugar and grains. They are gluttonous, and they don't realize that they're doing this. And why are they doing this? Why is this stuff out there in such abundance? Because it's addictive. Because of the gluten that's in grains. There's gluten in it, and that again, that protein that's in it binds to your opioid receptors, keep you coming back for more, and you don't get satiated. So you go to like French fries. You go to the frozen food section and get French fries. The French fries are full of sugar and all these like cornstarch and all this. You just look on the back. There's like one or two brands of French fries that are not full of sugar and like rice starch and all this other stuff. So you got to really be educated of this and what it's doing. And what happens, you consume this stuff and it creates inflammation. Your body becomes inflamed because it's trying to get these strange proteins out of it. So your body releases inflammation to go and neutralize these foreign proteins. And to neutralize these foreign proteins, what it does is it has to capture those proteins, bring them into your lymphatic system, and your lymphatic system is your body's sewage system, and then get them out the body. Well, what happens is we're eating so much of this stuff that it backs up your lymphatic system. And then your lymphatic system gets backed up. And once, uh, and what happens, your lymphatic system empties out and partially into your kidneys. And your kidneys become backed up because you're consuming all this protein. Then you throw on top of that the proteins that you get when you're eating all this meat. And we eat a lot, like too much meat, and we only use like a small portion of the protein that's in the meat. The rest of that protein goes to your kidneys. That excess protein goes to your kidneys. And then we're eating beans. That excess protein from those beans goes where? To your kidneys. They call them kidney beans because when you eat them kidney beans, your kidneys are going to start hurting because you overwhelming them with all this damn protein. And then your body becomes backed up, it starts shutting down, and that's when the weird symptoms that they call dis-ease starts popping up. Like you heard Elder Mitch, he had got backed up lymphatically, and then they call your body's third kidney is the skin. So his skin became inflamed. What happened is body started getting rid of the waste through the skin. So when you see people that got all these skin problems, you know that they are lymphatically compromised and their kidneys and their lymphatic system is backed up. Why? Because of an improper diet. And it's like basic like that. And then you become backed up, and then certain systems in your body will begin to act up. Depending on where you are genetically weak at, like some people, it might be in their endocrine system, their glandular system. Other people, it might be in their neurological system. That was me. I become lymphatically backed up. My neurological system begins to act up. Other people, it could be in their joints. Their joints become inflamed and they get what? Arthritis. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. It's basic. You know what I'm saying? So everything in proper proportion. Do I eat meat? Yeah, I eat meat. I eat dairy. Right now though, I've eliminated meat and dairy. I'm pretty much on a high fruit fast and vegetable fast for the most part. You know what I'm saying? I've kind of backed off of um dairy, meat, and grains. I've had to totally eliminate grains. We use the stuff we use to make bread and stuff like that are is like I said, those flours and stuff that are in Sister Koya's recipe book there. Let's see. I'll pull it up here for y'all. Household herbs. It's at householdherbs.com. I'll put this up here. Let me see if I can share this. Share. And where's that at? Okay. Let me get this up here. Okay. So let me fix this. There we go. So all you do is just go to our website and scroll to the bottom. And that's the book right there. And it's 21 recipes free from grains. And by now they got like 41 recipes and all this other stuff. Like, cause they're always over here experimenting, the sisters here, and coming up with new recipes and combinations. But what she does in this book is she gives you substitutes for like certain pastas and bread substitutes and sugar substitutes and all this stuff for all these things that can, for all these foods that can cause you a lot of heartache and pain. Okay. So yeah, it's and it's free, it's for the free ski. 12 with a free. So, and that's householdherbs.com. There you go. Sister Crystal posted it in there. Um, and like I said, but I'm gonna tell you, man, I'm coming in here. I'm telling people this, you know, and Elder Mitchell came in here. He's been on here. He did a testimony where his kidneys were shutting down. His skin was becoming inflamed. It got his attention. And you know, and he came to me, but Elder Mitchell got the right spirit because he's like, hey, what do I need to do? He's gonna figure it out. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't playing around. And just real fast, y'all, if y'all got any questions, okay, I see somebody has a question, so I'll get that. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in there and just make sure you put a question mark on it, and I'll answer your question. And I see somebody already has one. I'll get that, Victor. But so you saw his kidney shut down. Well, a lot of people come to me and I tell them, hey, first thing you have to do is eliminate the diet. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to change the diet. You know what I'm saying? Um, I told Elder Mitchell he got the right spirit about him. And he was like, yes, sir. Change his diet. Stop. Matter of fact, he went on a fruit diet. Okay. And literally, you heard him on the show yesterday. He's seen people with that same condition, I think called tinea versicolor or something like that. He's seen people with that exact same condition for years, still struggling with it. And he turned it around literally in about five days, maybe 2 weeks at the most, but I think it was like 5 days. He literally turned it around. By what? Changing his diet. And then I sent him some herbs, like the kidney kickstart formula to get his kidneys filtering and get his body detoxing. Sent him that. And he's on the road to Wellville now, healing up, going in the right direction. So, but again, a lot of this is spiritual on a lot of different levels because a lot of people got spirits of gluttony, spirits of food addiction. You know what I'm saying? Um, they're like me. I was addicted to caffeine, and caffeine's another bad one. Caffeine shuts down your body's lymphatic system. Okay, caffeine tells your body that energy you think you're getting from caffeine. That's caffeine telling your body, hey, we're about to go to war. We're about to fight, or we got to run. Something's getting ready to attack us. So we gotta turn up. It's almost time to go to war. So shut down all unnecessary systems and heighten the brain and the eyesight and all this, but shut down the sewage system because we don't need to worry about the sewage system. Don't worry about filter and stuff. So people are drinking caffeine and they're keeping their lymphatic system, their body sewage system shut down for prolonged periods of time because they're always drinking this thing. Eventually, and they're running the adrenals real hard. Eventually, they burn them out, and then the systems are shut down in the body, and then disease sets in somewhere. Depending on where all that depending on where that lymphatic system's backing up at, they call it a tumor, they call it a autoimmune disease, they call it what else? They call it fibroids, they call it, you name it. Okay. And that Bible verse says in the end time, people would be overcome by surfeiting. They would be overcome by overeating. When you get off of bread and grains, your appetite declines. Like I basically ate fruit this morning, ate some cashews, and what I've been doing is I'm getting on a diet where I'm eating fruit during the day, and at 3:00 eat my dinner, and then that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how we got to be. So I see we got some questions here. So we're gonna take Victor's question first. He said, when I started eating kosher, I ran into more foods and drinks I had to quit. What other sources can I go to in checking ingredients? Um, well, again, if you let me see if I can do this real quick. There we go. Okay. Why ain't that? There we go. Just trying to make this bigger. Y'all bear with me. All right. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So going back what I said, if you get Sister Koya's book, and this book was put together by the sisters here in the Straitway Studio Assembly. So that's Sister Koya, Sister Crystal, Sister Aaliyah. You know, they came up with a lot of stuff. The second book that they're gonna be coming out with here eventually is Sister Kiana. She also contributed to it, the second book. But telling you, if you go in this book right here, you really ain't gonna have to get caught up in kosher, because, like, for instance, a lot of the stuff is like chickpeas, walnuts. You know, I don't know if y'all have noticed. I really don't get involved in the kitchen stuff. Like, I'd have to, and I'm gonna be bringing Koya on the show soon, so she can, all the sisters. I'm gonna bring them on the show so they could talk to y'all about how they cook, what they cook, their whole methodology. My contribution to the kitchen is eating what's cooked in there. You know what I'm saying? So you'd have to get the book and go through it, and you know, see what sources, because I know Elder Mitchell's a shy. Elder Mitchell was telling me, like, she seen the book. I think she talked to Coy a little bit, but then she started coming up with her own stuff, you know, and that's how the sisters are, you know. And she came up with some French fries she had made out of something that were healthy, you know, fried them in healthy oil, all this stuff like that, you know. So you just got to do a little due diligence. We try to make it easy for y'all with having the book. Like I said, it's over there on Household Herbs, so you could download that, and it's free. And you just look through there, and like I said, Sister Koya showed you all the alternatives to what they have out there. So yeah. All right, Brother Victor, I hope I answered your question half decently. So the brother Elliot said there are so many names for sugar on those ingredient labels. It's sickening how they hide this stuff. And that's the other thing, man. It's like a lot of the stuff that the sisters are using here are raw ingredients, you know, for the most part. So, you know, we really not getting caught up in all that. Like, one of the things I eat pretty often now is she Koya makes is sauteed squash. Okay, and again, I need to get them on here so they can talk about this stuff they make. But she gets squash and throws some stuff in there, and it tastes like you eating meat, and it's squash, and it fills you up, because you can only eat so much of that, and it's boom, and you hit your full switch, and you done, and it sits there pretty good. She make something with sauteed kale sometimes too. Right now she making something. Y'all have to see, man. I gotta get her on here, because I can't, like I said, I can't speak on what they cooking and everything, but the ingredients that they're using are natural ingredients, because, like, that sauteed squash is mainly seasoning and onions, chopped up onions and stuff like that in there. That's mostly what it is. And what's so what's so awesome about it is when we do get on land, it's stuff we can easily grow on land and literally make a meal that everybody's content with having. Because I'm telling you, once you eliminate those grains, that ravenous appetite, that ravenous, insatiable appetite goes away. And you're able to eat something and not walk around like some type of food zombie. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, um, yeah. Like I said, y'all have any questions, put them in there. All right. Sister Elia Rice said, so would it be better to replace all beans with just chickpea and garbanzo beans? Yeah, good question, sister. Yes, it would be. It would absolutely would be. Because again, what you're doing when you consume these beans is you got this massive amount of protein coming in your body. And what your body does with protein is it takes the protein and it has to break the proteins down. The ones that it does use, it breaks those proteins down into amino acids. Okay. And then it builds those amino acids into the proteins it needs. But this is an acidic process. It generates acid. On top of that, the proteins that your body doesn't use, it sends to the kidneys. And so it's overwhelming the kidneys. This is why some people's kidneys, they eat a lot of beans, their kidneys start getting sore. Okay. Another thing, going back to the grains, because this is the 1-2 punch of the grains, these proteins that are in these grains are designed to protect the grain. There's one protein in the grains that when it makes contact with your gut lining, it loosens it up and allows things to seep through your gut lining that otherwise shouldn't be getting in there. And this is how people develop what they call leaky gut disease. Okay. So I'm telling you, you really have to, people are perishing for lack of knowledge. And look, I'm not saying it's the easiest thing in the world to put these grains down and limit the amount of dairy and meat that you're consuming. It's not easy to do that. You know what I'm saying? But with tools like, the book that the sisters here have put together, it does make it to where it actually, is easy, especially if you are living a righteous, set apart life, if you're living a communal life, if you're on land, if you're growing your food on your land. Like one of the things, all we need to do, we know one of the things we could do on land to literally, we can grow a whole bunch of squash and a whole bunch of onions and some other stuff and literally slash our grocery bill in half if we want, from time to time or however we want to do it. Okay. But again, if you got a bunch of people who got food demons on them, they're food addicts, they're addicted to foods that they know this stuff is bad for their body, but they're addicted to it. And you got people like that, hey, they just gonna suffer. And I'm putting the reason why I'm putting this information out is because people are not like I get people come to me, hey Mike, hey, you got a herb for this, like a magic herb that's just gonna magically boom. It's like, yeah, I could give you this herb and it's going to help you out in this area a little bit. But if you really want to change, you got to cleanse your body out. All this issue you're wrestling with is a sign that your body is backed up with toxins and you need to cleanse. Okay. So, yeah. So, to what the sister was saying, would it be better to replace it with chickpeas? Yes. Because chickpeas, otherwise known as garbanzo beans, they're not a bean, they're a fruit. They're the fruit of a plant. So they don't wreak havoc like what like a bean would, which is like a seed of a plant. And these seeds have proteins in them to protect them from being eaten. Okay. Um, Also concerning chickpeas and garbanzo beans, what I've done, I've cut back eating chickpeas because I'm trying to lose weight. And right now I'm doing a lot of work with our business. We're trying to take it to the federal level and all that, and um doing work with like community. So I'm doing a lot of desk work. So I'm not as active as I was when I'm out there in the field. So but if you want to gain weight and put on weight, eat, go again in this book, in the in Sister Koya's recipe book here, the household herbs recipe book. You those bread substitutes, because I know now they got some. I don't know if she put it in the book, but they make these wraps out of cassava bread or something. Sister Kiana came up with it, and like, man, you can eat hearty and still grain free and bulk up, and I can testify to that, because right now I got a gut on me. You know, it's gonna be gone here soon, but I mean, and it was from eating. You can still eat hearty, heavy meals, but eat healthy. You know what I'm saying? And that's if you want to bulk up, put on muscle and stuff like that. You can do that, and we'll talk about that. How to bulk up, because I know a lot of people want to know how to bulk up and put on muscle. But the thing you need to understand is fruits cleanse and vegetables build. Okay, that's what you need. Something that's important. It's an important understanding to have. Okay, so yeah, let's see. Somebody else got a question. Like I said, y'all got questions. I got answers. Would canned black beans be good? No, no, it's a bean, and it's smashing your kidneys. It's sending all these proteins to your kidneys, and your kidneys is working overtime with all this acidosis, and it's backing them up and burning them up with all this protein that's getting sent over there, all this excess protein. Because when you eat these beans or you eat this meat and all this stuff, that you're sending a lot of protein over there. That's why I say I eat meat, but just sparingly. I'm not like a daggone T-Rex over here devouring meat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and stuff like that. You know. So yeah. So no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't mess with them. Somebody said it helps. A few years ago, I was given a Lipton tea and it set my tongue on fire. I don't know about that. Um, all right. So Sister Rachel said, if y'all like lasagna, y'all can substitute it for pastelon. My husband's favorite spinach dish is almost just like lasagna, but you substitute it with sweet plantains, grain part. Okay. So she said you could substitute it with sweet plantains. Again, Sister Rachel, she's part of the Straightway Studio um, assembly, home assembly, and she's another one. All these sisters have a lot of recipes, so that when that next recipe book comes out, it'll be a banger. Okay. Have you ever heard of sarcoidosis? Sar- sarcoid, is that the thing on your eye? A sarcoidosis. when you get a sarcoid, let me know in the comments. Okay. So yeah, just let me know in the comments with the sarcoidosis. Yeah, but I have heard of it, and again, it's acidosis in your eyes. You know what I'm saying? Um, it, it's the same thing. All right, wait, no, has to do with your autoimmune system attacking the body. And again, this is what. Uh, thank you, brother Terry, for telling me that. Um, so this is what uh autoimmune, they say your body's attacking itself, but upon further investigation, what you find is, again, you got these weird proteins and your body's trying to go after them. Now let me tell you something else heavy. Okay, something else of utmost importance. Again, what I said, people's immune systems are getting shut down. Okay, what there's a lot of things that contribute to people's immune systems getting shut down. Number one, just sheer out getting overwhelmed by inflammatory foods, and people aren't eating enough of the foods that they need that would clean them out. Now, check this out, y'all. Let me show you this. Mm, here. All right, let me see if I get this up here. Okay, look at this. Let me see if I get this up here. Good. All right. So look, what you got here is a food pyramid, so-called food pyramid. Okay? This is a food pyramid. Look at this crap. Okay? Look what they got at the foundation, at the base of the pyramid. Okay? You should already know that this thing is trouble because it's in the shape of a damn pyramid. Right off the bat, you already know it's a damn mess. But look at it: bread, cereal, rice, pasta. Okay. They're literally telling you to eat the thing that's going to destroy you. And then in very small portions, they have your fruit and vegetables, I guess in a decent size. And then they got fish, blah, blah, blah. But the reality is the fruit should be right here where the bread is at. That should be fruit. And then this whole second row right here, above that, should be vegetables. And then the section here, in very small proportions, the section here should be vegetables too. And in this very top part, it says use sparingly should be the meat and the dairy. Literally, that is what it should be. And again, you got a lot of food addicts out there with tumors growing in them and everything right now, sitting there like, man, this dude crazy. This dude, I can't do that. But for a lot of people, this is what it's going to take for them to reverse their conditions. You know, is a radical diet change to where they're because look, the most inflammatory food is this. But think about it. The people who make this food pyramid, what does that say right there? Can y'all see that at the bottom left? It says the USDA's original food pyramid. Okay. Let's go to their website or see if we go to their website. But that's the government telling you that that's how you need to eat. Now, that's a food pyramid from 2005. Now, I think they got a food plate or something that Obama came up with or something like that, that really ain't too much better. But again, our people perish for lack of knowledge. And the thing is, truth be told, we keep it 100 here. I keep it 100. To reverse these conditions and a lot of this stuff that people are struggling with, to reverse it, real talk, all you got to do is just go on an all fruit diet for a little while. You don't even need the herbs. Now, when I send my herbs out to you, then they expedite things. They shake it up. They get things shaking and moving. But you could do this by just consuming fruit. I tell people this all the time. But people, man, I'm telling you, they so deeply entrenched and ingrained in this American diet, and they don't think it's that bad until they're on the phone with me. You see what I'm saying? And like I said, but I'm going to stay here. I'm going to keep warning people. I'm going to cry aloud and spare not and lift up my voice like a trumpet and warn people that, look, this stuff mess you up. Look, and I'm telling you, I ate a horrendous diet growing up. I didn't realize how bad it was till recently. And I'm working on it, y'all. I'm trying to get my body back to homeostasis, like trying to get everything back to normal and heal myself up and get back to where I need to be. Cause from a child, I just wasn't eating right, man. And it's just, hey, we didn't know back then, but I know now. And like G.I. Joe said, knowing is half the battle. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So it's like now I'm expediting. I'm really getting at this thing. And recently I've really buckled down on my diet and getting this thing airtight. You know what I'm saying? Because hey, you don't want to be out here playing around, and everybody just kind of, oh, okay, Mike, yeah, I hear, yeah, okay, Mike, till it get real, till they get that pain or they get that diagnosis of this going on or that's going on, and then then the allopathic people, people are there, oh, we're gonna need to cut this out of you, or you're gonna need to take this and we're gonna burn this and mess up that, and we need to cut this thing and do this. And then I got your attention up? Yeah, yeah, mm-hmm. So we gotta get real on this thing. All right, let's see. Okay. Okay, so she defined it. The growth of tiny collections of inflammatory cells in different parts of the body. The growths most commonly occur in the lungs, lymph nodes, eyes, and skin. Yeah, so I was right. What I said, a sarcoid, backed up. You heard it right there in the lymph nodes. It's a backed up lymphatic system. It's a backed up sewage system. That's it. Look, let me just make it simple. Literally every issue out there that they call disease, literally every single thing is a backed up lymphatic system, a backed up sewage system. Literally every issue out there. That's what it is. Okay? That's just real talk. I'm just telling y'all. That's what it is. You throw them in there too. Y'all could throw the condition in there, and you're going to find out it's a compromised immune system, or it's directly tied to the consumption of grains or something like that. Okay, messing with your body system. It'll be like one of the two. So it'll, or in some way tied to that. And that's why I tell people don't believe it's that simple. I was like, yeah, stop eating grains. They'd be like, okay. And they keep eating grains. You know, I say, hey man, eat more fruit, eat a high fruit diet, eat a high fruit and vegetable diet then. Okay. But we've been deceived by this society to think, by the medical establishment, to think it's so much more complicated than that. but it's not. The Most High is not the author of confusion. Now, this Greco-Roman beast system is. Are most prominently affected by. Yeah, look what they're saying, man. The lungs, lymph nodes, and the areas that are most prominently affected by sarcoidosis. I'm telling you, y'all, just put down the grains. Like, go on a fruit fast for a month or two. I'm telling you, some of y'all need to go on one for a month or two. Get that book Sister Koya put out, change that diet up. Okay? So you stop the progression of all these diseases that, taking people's lives early. All over the. So somebody said all sugar all over the place. Yeah. And that's again these refined sugars and these modified and these sugars and these things that we shouldn't be consuming to the degree we consume them. The sugar in fruit is different. It's buffeted with the vitamins and minerals and nutrients of the fruit, and it's a monodextrose type sugar, so it's a single molecule sugar, and your body doesn't even need insulin for it to go into the cells. So it's a different type of sugar in the fruit. All right, let me see what else y'all saying. Somebody said the food pyramid is a joke. It sure is. All right, somebody asked all fruit diet or a water fast. So there's degrees to cleansing and detoxification, and I'll go over them real quick. You could do a fruit fast, so you're just eating fruits, okay? And your body will begin cleansing and detoxifying. You could do a mono fruit fast where you eat nothing but one fruit. I'd recommend grapes. Grapes is like the best all around one. So you eat nothing but grapes, and your body will start cleansing and detoxifying itself. Even more extreme. And the way you'll know it, you'll be getting headaches. You'll get flu-like symptoms. There's all types of things that can happen when your body's cleansing itself out. Be feeling tired. In extreme cases, when you do some of the extreme cleansing that I'm gonna tell you about, you could go blind. Your nails could fall off. You could get dizzy. All types of crazy stuff. So there's degrees to the level of cleansing. So that's a higher level, is consuming nothing but grapes, a mono fast. A level above that is a juice fast. A level above a juice fast is a mono juice fast, where you're drinking nothing but one juice. A level above that is a water fast. And the most extreme level of fasting is a dry fast. And when you do like the way to do a dry fast is you dry fast for one day, then you drink nothing but a fruit juice for one day. Then or you drink nothing but water for one day. Then you dry fast one day, then you water. Okay? And it's literally like taking a sponge and squeezing it out and then putting it back in water again and then taking it again and squeezing it out, and it's very extreme. But I don't recommend people do it, especially if you're not educated and you check with your doctor and your health is right, because it could be dangerous. And there's people who go on dry fast for way longer than that. Okay. But again, it can be dangerous. So I don't recommend it unless you have professional supervision. All right. And I don't put me on as well, Mike told me to do it and he's gonna be my supervisor. No. Mm-mm. So man, alone. Yeah, I have been dealing with serious moments. Okay. Somebody said, I have been dealing with an issue of serious moments of fatigue and sleepiness after eating some popcorn and chips. I'm fine when I eat fruit, but I think it's related to those grains. Yeah. Now, potato chips aren't a grain, but you have to look on the packaging because it might have grains in it. But well, actually, yes, potato chips do have grains in them because I recall I was in the store and yeah, they had put like sugar in it. There was sugar in the potato chips. Okay. And again, they put that in there to get you addicted to it. So you just can't eat one, you just keep eating them. But yeah, there was some type of grain in them potato chips. That's why I didn't get them. Now, popcorn, corn is a grain, you know, and it's pretty high up there on one of the bad ones, okay, because of the way they've genetically modified that stuff. And the reason why you're getting tired is because your body's trying to fight off all that inflammation. That's probably one of the reasons. All right. Okay, let's see. So somebody put Corinthians, don't you realize that your body is a temple of Holy Spirit who lives in you and was given to you by Yah? You do not belong to yourself, for Yah bought you with a high price. Okay. All right, let's see. Somebody has a question. What would you suggest as best diet for a woman trying to conceive? If doing mostly fruit and veggies, are there specific fruits and or veggies that you would suggest to be the most beneficial? So yeah, so check this out. So on what I was saying with the cleansing, when you can cleanse with fruits. Um, one of the things is like um, if the detoxification symptoms become too extreme, because that'll happen sometimes, like your kidneys will start hurting because you're starting to send all this acidosis to the kidneys, and the kidneys is working trying to process all this stuff, and sometimes you'll get flu-like symptoms and all this stuff, and it gets too extreme. The way we tell people to slow down the detoxification is have them eat kind of a non-watery fruit. So something like we'll have them eat a banana or avocado or something like that, and it slows down the cleansing. And if you just want to really slow it down, eat vegetables. A lot of times it'll just stop it. It'll take the body out of that detox mode, because this is what happens when you eat fruit. These watery, juicy fruits, literally your digestive system, like typically your digestive system is using like 60-70% of your energy. Well, now you're consuming fruit that breaks down easy, so literally your digestive system is only using 30% of your energy now. So all that other energy is allocated to detoxification and cleansing. But yeah, as far as what to eat, you know, again, I gotta get the sisters on here, man. These sisters, they the experts when it comes to all that stuff. But yeah, eat fruits and vegetables and get Sister Koya's diet book there. Um, Now, if you're having if you're having issues conceiving, you need to cleanse. So you need to go on an all fruit diet and do a cleanse and cleanse out. Okay. Because again, the reproductive organs are just like other organs. They're susceptible to lymphatic stagnation and backup. Okay. All right. Let's see. So yeah, I hope that makes sense. If it don't, ask me to further elaborate. Okay. To clarify, in them and to clarify, I learned that name brands have had heck in them, and it was a controversy about 10 years ago. Yeah, I don't know what heck is. I don't know. You have to clarify on that. Somebody had a question. Brother Michael, what about working out physical training when detoxing on fruit fast if we're going to have all those withdrawal symptoms? So your body will tell you what to do. I mean, if you feeling all worn out and burned out and dragging, then just listen to your body. But if you on the fruit fast or whatever, yeah, you can still exercise, but you shouldn't exercise till lactic acid is getting released. Lactic acid is what they call the burn when you're exercising, because then you're just releasing more acids into the body, and you making it harder for your body to to get the toxins out it needs to get out, because your body's also gonna have to get rid of that lactic acid. So I wouldn't, you don't want to work out super duper hard. So, yep. So yeah, y'all, that's what I got. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate your questions. I'm gonna do more of these. Probably go more in depth. Let me tell y'all this. If you got questions, put them in the comments, because you could come in the chat, but I know more people are gonna watch this than are gonna be on the live, way more. So just definitely put questions in the comments if you have, and I'll put those into the next show I do on Hebrew health. All right, somebody asked. Okay, so Koya wants to come on here. You don't want to come on? All right, Koya wants to show something she made. So hold on, speak up.
So here is just a simple.
Come here. You're not gonna be. You could come this close, and you're not gonna be on there, but you need to speak into the mic so they can hear you.
All right, you can go over. I'll tell you what that is. It's just a simple plate.
All right, so Koya made. This is what Koya made.
It's a small plate.
All right, speak. Put your head right here and speak into the mic to tell them what this is.
So basically, this is our sweet potato and kale salad, and it has cranberries, walnuts, lots of sweet potato, a ton of kale, and we have our special tahini sauce that we just kind of smother it in with a little bit of maple syrup, which is grain-free, and spices. And it's really, really delicious. And you got all of your leafy greens there. And then also we have our sauteed zucchini, squash, and onion with aleppo peppers. And it just gives you a burst of flavor, a flavor bomb. And then we have a cold salad, which is just Roma tomatoes, cucumbers, cilantro, purple onions or red onions.
And just so y'all know, cilantro
cleanses the body from heavy metals.
Yeah, from heavy metals and other toxins, particularly, and it can pass a blood-brain barrier also.
Mm-hmm. So, but I also made some chicken that I fried in cassava flour.
So fried
chicken tenders. Chicken tenders.
For you Negroes.
I should have brought those up here too. That's but anyway, it's just a sample plate of all the different all the different veggies and fruits, because sometimes people don't even know the difference between fruits and vegetables. But there you have fruits and vegetables that you would think are just vegetables, but they're actually fruits. So, but that's all for now.
And that's why I'm getting ready to get off. Here, go ahead and bring that. I'm gonna eat down there. And trust me, that's just a sample plate, because my plate be stacked up. So I'm just letting y'all know. But that's why I'm getting ready to get off, because I'm getting ready to eat. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna answer your question. Somebody asked, bless you, Brother Israel, is it okay to go on a fruit fast while you are breastfeeding? Will the baby be getting the proper nutrients? Ooh, you had to ask the banger. What I would do is, yeah, what's going to happen if you start cleansing. See, I gotta be careful when it comes to babies and pregnancy and breastfeeding. But yeah, when you begin cleansing like that, the baby can get some of the stuff that you're cleansing. So because what happens when your body starts detoxifying and cleansing out, when your body starts detoxifying and cleansing, it pulls the toxins from the tissues and it pulls them into your system, into the interstitium, into the interstitial fluid, pulls them into the lymphatic system, into the sewage system, then out the body. But it does temporarily bring them into the system. So that stuff is moving around so it can get into the milk and affect the baby. So what I would do is you can go do a mild cleanse because it's not going to hurt you going on all fruits. So it won't hurt you. But I wouldn't be doing, I would go on what I tell people, a high fruit diet, but still be eating vegetables, because when you're breastfeeding and you're giving birth to children, that is a very intense process where it's pulling a lot of minerals and nutrients out of your body for that. So you got to make sure you're replenishing those minerals and those nutrients. This is these vitamins or whatever, she calls them Mineral Defense 102 because they have 100 and it got every single mineral your body needs. But consuming stuff like that and a veggie diet and stuff like that is going to be good. That's what you need to do. But I wouldn't be trying to go on no like mono fruit grape fast where you're going to be the toxin hardcore. I wouldn't do that. I'd be on a high fruit diet, definitely, and just trying to maintain my body. And then once you're done having a baby and breastfeeding and all that, then you can hit it hardcore. You know what I'm saying? You can hit it like that. So I hope that makes sense, sister. All right, y'all. Well, with that said, I imagine my plate is sitting on the table right now, and I'm not sitting down there near it, and that's a problem. So I'm going to wrap this show up. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. You're watching Spiritual Combat, and shalom, shalom.
Don't let Babylon break you. Don't let them break your soul.
In time, stay woke, it's going down.
We gonna wake up the tribes.
Howard,
willing.
what you cooking?
Last days.
We about to wake up the tribes. Armageddon at the doorstep. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break me. I need the Holy Spirit right now. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. In time. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break my soul. Holy Spirit, come down. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. We in the truth, now they scared of us. They knew that Jacob would rise. We don't want problems, we just want to do the laws, praise the Most High. But if it's on, then it's on. Got angels with us when it's wartime. I pray we get back to Zion. We about to wake up the tribes. I can't fall for no false doctrine. I want it straight out the Bible. Tell me what scripture is that. Give me the truth with no feelings attached. We just gonna give them the facts. Proverbs chapter 6, verse 6. I cannot sit and relax. I had to go to the end. Run it back. I had to go to the end. Couldn't let up if I wanted to. On the interstate, bumping toward two. Not ashamed of the gospel. I got faith, I sure do. Yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. Armageddon at the doorstep. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break me. I need the Holy Spirit right now. We We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah, yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. In time, in time. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break my soul. Holy Spirit, come down. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah. If the Father for us, how we gonna lose? Done talking, time to show and prove. No half stepping, I'm a whole brew. Get the beam out your eye. If the blind lead the blind, where we going to? We turn the lines when under pressure. We just been keeping it cordial. They gave us chains in the slave name. Never told us we was royal. Now we getting our houses in order. No religion, I follow the Savior. Only Messiah can save us. Some say it's a fairy tale, but our faith will never waver. Scripts jumping off the pages. What? We about to wake up the tribes. Armageddon at the doorstep. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break me. I need the Holy Spirit right now. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah, yeah. We about to wake up the tribes. In time, in time. Stay woke, it's going down. Babylon trying to break my soul. Holy Spirit, come down. We about to wake up the tribes. Spare not, cry loud. Yeah.